Okay, reading up on the old chat. That way I always get confused which way this is. Right, hopefully this is coming through okay. Right, is this brand new chat or is this the chat from back from the old one and I didn't quite catch it? So, new or old? Someone write in new or old so I'll know. Make sure I'm not tagging on the back of the old one. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Ended up with okay, we're back on the new. Okay, I've gotten the idea. Right, okay. Right. Okay, everyone's on. Wicked, brilliant. Old, new. Everyone's going old and new. Is it what? Which one is it? I don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. Thank you. Cool. Okay, right. Okay, let's start from the top. Let's scroll forward a little bit. Great video. You need to follow up on this. Dave, how would you like me to follow up on it? I'm quite open to suggestion. Robert, my mind really informative. Cool, thanks. Hebrew, go on. You have to. How do you pronounce that? Hebrew, yeah. Just joined a couple of minutes ago, but if it looks like the dispersion was way better with the pings, forgive me if you already discussed that. Tell you what, let's have a look. So now we'll open up that one little can of worms. Let's go into this. I'll tell you what, let's go out of that and then we'll go into ball data. And if I can go ball data on this one, I might be able to flick across. Right, here we go. Transition, come on, there we go. So this is the G700. We're going from, if we look at the offline, we've got maximum one's 13 right. And the, what's the worst one left? 5.4 left. Excuse me. What's that? So that's 18.4 yards in total. Yeah. Now, bear in mind, this is Game Improvement Iron. These are designed to be as accurate as a club can get through forgiveness. And I'm testing this thing up. Well, not on me, but the person was testing it against that. That is a blade as blades get nowadays. So this has got absolutely chuffle forgiveness in this thing. So let's have a look. So we've got 18.4 yards of dispersion on that one. And let's go get rid of the G700 ball data and then transition that. And then we go here. So we go from 15, 16 yards left to, is that a right? Hang on. That is. So that's a right over there. So 9.2 yards right on their worst one. Now, that was one of he hit one shot right. The rest of them, so I mean, you're looking at, down the bottom here, you've got like something called, you can't really see it because my chair's in the way, standard deviation. And offline goes 7.3. Let's click back over to quickly the ball date, so 5.2. So yes, you could say that the Apex MB was slightly more left and right. Now, the interesting thing would be, what was the carry dispersion difference between them? So you've got 6 yards standard deviation between the two. I mean, this is we're having a complete open chat. 6 yards carry distance. So there's no difference in the dispersion front to back when it comes to the standard deviation of the G700 and the Apex MB. So we're dealing with a high-ish. We're talking about a 18, 19 handicap golfer who's doesn't swing it very, so he's senior, so he doesn't swing it very quick. But a lot of you guys don't swing it very quick. I'm lucky, I swing at 94 miles an hour. I've got plenty of power to get that ball going up there, which when it comes to YouTubers, I mean, Mark's a bit better because he swings slightly slower than me, but he does a lot of on-course testing, doesn't quite get this level of data. Shieldsy, he's sort of very, very similar to me when it comes to speed and everyone else like that. So you do need, I understand that the need for having this kind of drill down information. Right, well, I'm going to just go flick over to here because I can't read that fast. Right, Julian, good day. Sorry, I wanted to get back to you. But hybrid, yes, the dispersion was better with the pings, bearing in mind, but the pings are designed to be as forgiving left and right through strike as possible. However, that is far outweighed by the poor height, and I mean 40% higher I'm getting, not me, I keep on saying me because I'm doing all this, 40% higher the senior golfer is getting from one of these, 40% higher peak height. That's massive, that's crazy. So Simon Taylor, would you fit a 3-wood length shaft in a driver, and would it affect ball speed and accuracy? Have to test the individual. I have a slightly shorter driver shaft in my driver. I feel that driver links are massively long and they're a bit too long, my opinion again. And I have found by countless testing when I do custom fits with people, even just normal shaft testing in swing analysis lessons and lessons alone, that you put a shorter shaft driver in someone's hands and they are able to strike the middle a lot more functionally. Yes, they're going to have misses, they always have misses when we are human beings, we're not robots, but they're able to hit middle a lot more and get the average amount of shots. So their peak shots may not be quite as long because they haven't got the length, so they might drop a couple of miles an hour in swing speed, others don't at all, others swing exactly the same speed. But for the people that do drop, yes, they're going to lose a couple of yards or whatever it'd be in an absolutely belted strike, but because of their average is longer, because of their strike is better on average. Right, let's go down. How would you decide on whether to fit someone for blades or say a JPX Forge Tour? Is it all strike? A lot of it is strike. If you were to, Robert, if you were to test someone and they were hitting bang, 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 right, I have tested a lot of people, a ton of people, and you get a very strange mix. You get the generalized mix of handicap and you're going to strike it a certain way. And then you also get a slightly different thing. You also get a slightly different one of, you get the scratch handicapper, which has got a very good face to path understanding. To a certain extent, me as well, as a pro, I do suffer from this very slightly. That my face to path, generally speaking, is very good. I'm very boring, I'm very bland. So I can get away with slight strike deviation, which I do move around a little bit. However, you get other people, you get 28 handicappers that come in and they bang the middle every time, and it's just frustrating from a pro to see, look, why haven't I got you earlier? Because you can quite clearly hit the middle, but you've just got no concept of where that face is aiming, and it's literally played like army golf, left, right, because their face is just everywhere. The person who hits the 28 handicapper that hits the middle has got the potential to play blades, but there's not just strike to take into account, because obviously you've got CG of head, speed, everything to take into account before you even look at necessarily what head they have. But strike is a major part. You would never give someone who deviates on the face a blade, because a blade is not forgiving whatsoever. At all, not so bad. Not this thing over here. This is not going to help you in the slightest, people. If you're deviating from the middle, don't even bother. You do get a little bit modern day, but no, they're not. Yeah, so a fitting is more than just strike, but it is a major part. Guys, if you're getting fit on TrackMan, Flight Scope and everything else, which is no strike monitor, launch monitor idea, question mark the fit. And I'm not being paid by Foresight to say that. Before you guys say, I'm not being paid by Foresight to say that, and I've not got nothing against TrackMan. TrackMan paved the way for launch monitors, and without launch monitors, where would I be? Where would a lot of people be? Right, Robert, what is the criteria to determine a game improvement iron? Anything that is not a blade. Game improvement irons, generally criteria are things which are cranked. As soon as you get something which is cranked, you have to obviously lower the CG and push it as far back as you can do to help increase launch. To do that, obviously, because the CG of the head is lower than the CG of the ball, you get vertical gearing, which takes spin off. That is the problem. But basically anything which has got perimeter weighting or a certain framework around the head, which is designed to take CG away from the face and help off-center strikes, variable face thickness, things like that. That's designed as a game improvement, and obviously you get certain middle grounds in between. Great question, Robert. As previously said, fitting is critical. Distance is not always gold. Robert, well done. Robert. I won't name the person. It was a rep. I spoke to him the first time he came in to speak to me. We had a meeting, and he straight away whinged, moaned and complained that we hadn't sold enough of the G700s. That's ping. And because certain outfits are selling on performance, on distance. I don't sell on distance. I don't sell at all. Basically, I do a fit, and if the person wants to buy at the end of it, that's completely up to them, and I'm quite happy for them to do that or not. Doesn't matter in the slightest to me. All that I care about is when they come away from me, they come away feeling that they've got they've been treated well, they've got a service, they come away enriched from the experience, they understand how they deliver, blah 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 blah. Because I see a fit as also as a semi-lesson, very much so like Mr. Crossfield does, and he's got it spot on there. Right. Okay, Julia, on the driver length, if you shorten the length, is it advisable to have the swing weight looked at as well, or is the change insignificant? No, it's not, Julian. It's not change insignificant at all. YouTube drink. Reason being is because you do change the length of the shaft. You do need to think about changing or adding weight to the head. How you do that is different. If you take weight off, so basically take the head off. If you tip trim it, it will make the shaft stiffer. It will have minimum difference on when it will have an impact on swing weight, especially if you then butt extend it. You can get away with it to a certain extent. If you just butt trim, then you will have a big difference when it comes to swing weight, and then you will have to seriously add weight to the head. You add weight to the head, it will make effective shaft feel weaker. It's a minefield when it comes to swing weight, but yeah, that answers the question hopefully. James, driving iron versus game improvement, long iron at half the price. Driving iron versus game improvement iron, long iron at half the price. Now, okay, James, make a very, very good point. And if we're going to be talking about this, let's just say this thing. For me, obviously, I swing at a very decent rate. So if I swing at a decent rate, excuse me, gonna need another drink soon. Too much talking. That I could get away with a 4-iron with this. This is a 200-yard carry club. 200-yard carry from a 6. Yet for me, because I obviously launch it well with speed, it goes up high and it descends well, it works for me. And this has worked what I would see from a bladed 4-iron. So with the forgiveness that you do get from this, with the amount of speed that I have, I could conceivably, you could go pitch and wedge through to 5-iron, then go to a 6-iron for your 4, but in a different model. I know it would be completely arse about face when it comes to continuity in your set, but it is doable. And again, it is, well, these things aren't cheap, but I understand your concept. They are cheaper than hybrids, etc. I mean, Ping's hybrid's 190 quid, give or take, when it comes to UK. Obviously, there might places might sell it cheaper, and you know, at the time, basically £190. This is cheaper than that. But yeah, hybrid always will go higher. Robert, my open mind. Have you hit the new Mizuno drivers ST190? Does it offer the ST? Oh, okay, right. Robert, I'll be honest. I cannot say anything when it comes to the ST190 because I am governed by a little strict thing called embargo. Yes, I have hit the ST190. I have had a nice time with the ST190. I have got reviews coming of the ST190 when it comes out. I cannot give too much details apart from what you guys have probably already seen on the interweb. The blue has gone on the bottom and it's all now black. It looks a much better driver. It feels a much better driver. I can't go into the performance because of those reasons. I can do later on, but hopefully I can say that it proves so far that the ST190 and the ST190G or the 190G, something like that, it's not the GT190, it is potentially a much better range of woods for Mizuno. They have jumped potentially, can't say too much. I was fit for a driver on a GT quad, but they didn't put the dots on the face. Of the drivers, so I had no idea why I was contacting the ball in the face other than by feel. Felt like a waste of money. Oh my word. Okay. Hibridut, is that your first name? If it's just a username, then by all means pop your first name on there. If it is your first name, I apologise because I'm terrible at pronouncing things. I have got the Rick Shields capability of pronouncing names. I do apologise for that. I was fitted for the drive on GT Quad and they did not put the dots on the face. That is the worst thing you could ever do. Right, okay, dots cost money. Yes, they do cost money. Howard, thank you, Howard. Right, Howard, dots cost money. Yes, they do. And Foresight Sports, they must make a bomb out of those dots. However, you're paying, Howard, I'm guessing you paid for a fit, yeah? When people come for a fit with me, they pay for a service, right? I'll be honest, I'll put it out there. I've never shied away from it. They pay for a service. I would never, in a month of Sundays, decide that it would be in anyone's benefit not dotting up a driver that someone was thinking about purchasing and just running on ball data alone. Ball data is nothing if you've got no head data to back it up. This is why I get so analytical sometimes when it comes to my videos, because of the fact that I do a lot of data. I don't just go 3 shots and they go, there you go, it's longer. I give as much data as I can fit on a screen without sort of scrolling through, so you can see that I have given my best to try and give you an average of me being a human. And not to put dots on it is fitting criminality. Don't tell me who fit you, please. Email me with the person who fit you, please. Right, really appreciate these Q&A sessions. Keep them coming, Robert. It's my pleasure. Robert J, one thing is clear: you are a fitter with real integrity. Thank you. I also coach with real integrity too, and somewhat blunt directness. No one's got any better going. It's a good swing. Yeah, you've done all right. Yeah, you just caught that one a little bit. Have you find it? Just try it again. You're doing all right. No one got any better doing that. That's why we got launch monitors nowadays. I'll be tracking you down for a fitting in the new year. Robert, where are you? Just pop in there quickly where you are in the world. I've had people come from like Austria. So if you are coming from abroad, no problem. We'll just book you in. We'll chat off air. Highly recommend. Thank you, son. This is not a publicly kind of put my business out there. This is just chat about this. Ireland. Yeah, I've spoke to you before. I think it was, wasn't it? Ireland. Yeah. I've been to Southern Ireland before. A lovely place. Right. So, other questions about what I have just probably. Oh, if this video goes viral because I was ping off, and again, it's not designed to ping off. It is hopefully as a video so people understand the point of getting fit and not just going by the marketing. Now, I get all the marketing gumph, like Crossy does, like Shilsey does, and all the others. And sometimes you read it and you think, oh my word, really? And you guys, when you listen to adverts, when you listen to the pros talk, when you listen to certain advertising thing, and marketing and sales speak, I don't sell clubs. When it comes to my fittings, we have a fitting, and I sell you a service of what you have. And then if you at the end of that decide that you want to buy some clubs, well, that's down to a different department. I'm not involved in necessarily the selling of it, because the whole idea of my job is to give you the best service possible. That's all I care about. What do you think of my swing this morning? Hi, Neil. It was definitely a lot better when we start getting your path a lot more neutral, and it was interesting that as soon as you start getting that done, you look a ton better on how you can control those little feet of yours. They do get a little bit kind of active at sometimes, but yeah, got a lot of shadow work to do. So the good thing when it comes to coaching, you coach the player. And Neil, I hope you don't mind me sort of picking on you a little bit, but Neil's got a lot of work to do, like homework. I believe as a coach necessarily that you don't have to come to the range. I try as best I can do to give you information that you don't have to come to the range or hit golf balls to get better. You can do it at home. You can do it in your work. You can do it anywhere there's a shadow, anywhere there's a mirror. Your shadow's always with you. As long as it's sunny, you can use your shadow to do shadow work, as in control what your body does during the swing. Do you charge a different rate for a full bag check with a view to fitting for new clubs? I'll be honest, when it comes to that, Robert, because of GC Quad is a very expensive piece of kit, and the whole concept of that is that it has to be paid for. Again, being completely honest again. Yet I also understand the fact that I have got a massive bugbear about stuff costing too much. Now, there are some pros, I will not mention them, that will be charging up to and more than £100 an hour to go and do something, and everyone knows who they are. When it comes to my rates, I just charge a blanket £40 an hour. As far as I'm concerned, that pays for my time, and that pays for the to a certain extent it goes towards the money for the quad, and I'm quite happy to put that out there. I'm as open and honest about money, and I'm quite happy to have any discussion. I don't care whatsoever, just get it out there. So I charge £40 an hour. Do you charge a different rate for a full bag check with a view to fitting for new clubs? No. When it comes to if you come for a full bag fit, whether it takes you an hour and a half or it takes you 2.5 hours, whatever it be, yeah, as you, the person, the client, will basically dictate to me how long something's going to last. And if I was put out there straight away saying that it's going to be £40 an hour, you can do this as quick or as short or as long or as whatever it is as you want, then go for it. The whole trick with me is you get something out of the session, regardless of what it is. If it's an hour session or a 2-hour session, you come away with that enriched from the experience. That's great value considering the advice you were giving. Robert, I agree, but the reason why I agree, because I've got a massive bugbear of the cost of it. We are excluding a massive proportion of the world because we charge so much, and it's all of our fault. And I understand this is a business, and I understand it's our living, it's how we pay our mortgages. I understand that, I get that, but we've got to grow the business. If not, what we're going to be stifling our own kind of pockets if we don't do it the right way. That's my own view. Everyone's got their own view. I confirm Jay is a good, honest coach. Cheers, Neil. Thank you very much. Andrew Thomas. Hi, Jay. Start of the season was fitted with Callaway Rogue Pros, the CF16s lookalikes. Very nice, very happy. What was your view on fitting wedges? Bought set 50, 54 and 60. 6 degrees. Interesting. Second hand. Need another drink. I'm going to run out of drink. And 60 second hand. And who would you recommend? What for, as in a company, for fitting? What is your view on fitting wedges? Right, basically, whenever I do a wedge fit, it is difficult because I think Mizuno hang on, I've got to be careful what I say. Mizuno are bringing out some new information, new data, new software, new everything when it comes to 2019. I am so looking forward to 2019 for how Mizuno enrich their DNA system. Now, with their DNA system, because the heads change, etc., there's no feasibility at the moment for adding wedges to it, and it's down to the individuals like me to buy in massive amounts of wedges because they're all fixed heads. The heads don't come off. Yeah, so you've got to have loads and loads of different bounce options and bits and pieces like that, which gets crazy. So honestly, what I do is I'll have a 50, a 52, a 54, 56, a 58 and a 60, and then depending on the individual's attack angles and how they deliver the golf club, what golf course they play, what the strike situation is like, we will work a bounce in them that will work with them where they play. Now bear in mind, if someone's playing complete different golf courses, we'll go for a mid bounce, or if they've got enough money, we'll have 2 wedges. Now that is rare, but it is a possibility because obviously if you're playing completely different golf courses, one hard, one soft, and your attack angle is a certain thing, which we won't go into because it will be a massive long answer, you're going to need 2 different wedges. So yeah, anyway. When it comes to wedges, any manufacturer nowadays, Mizuno make great ones, Titleist make, the Vokeys make great ones, Cleveland RTX4s are great ones. There are so many different manufacturers nowadays which make absolutely great wedges. They all spin exactly the same, so don't worry about people turning around and saying, oh, this spins much more than one before. It doesn't. Okay, they are all within such a margin of each other. Yeah. Okay, Dan, 19422. Is that many? Is that other many Dans on there? There's 19,421 other Dans. New golfer, in good shape and athletic. I went for a Titleist fitting AP1. The fitter stated I was swinging the low 80s. Excuse me. When he stated that, was he going by TrackMan? Or was he going by GC2 HMT or GC Quad? Bear in mind, TrackMan and Quad, they read clubhead speed at 2 different points. So you'll get a reduction when it comes to TrackMan because it's measuring at impact, post-impact kind of thing. So you'll get a ball speed of whatever it'll get, and you'll get a slightly reduced clubhead speed because the club has hit the golf ball and the ball has influenced the head in the speed, where GC2 HMT and GC Quad measure at the moment of impact. Yeah, so that measurement there, that measurement there. So you'll get a smaller smash factor efficiency level when it comes to a foresight system than you will a TrackMan. Low 80 miles an hour, 7 irons. So I would be a stiff flex. Don't just say that. You're not necessarily, Dan, you're not necessarily stiff flex. It's bend profile that you need to look at. There are so many different things out there. I need to know your tempo. I need to know how aggressive you load the shaft in what axis to know necessarily what stiff flex you are or not. Then went to someone else and they say regular. There you go. I'm answering the question as I'm reading the question. So yeah, get fit, get on a Swing DNA system. Is a very, very good system. But also when you're doing a Swing DNA system, make sure that you've got someone there who knows how to use it and knows TrackMan. Answered your own one on that one. Yeah, TrackMan's not the greatest thing to fit on. Apologies for anyone who uses TrackMan, who watches me. It is my own personal opinion. Excuse me. Backed up by a certain amount of scientific and usable data. But I had the choice of should I use TrackMan or should I use GC Quad or GC HMT. Me being the analytical person and the one for wanting answers and not guessing. I don't do guessing. I hate guessing. I will not guess. I've got GC Quad. What difference does a grind as opposed to bounce make to a wedge? Right, grind basically means that on certain wedges, especially your 58 and 60, your lobber, that they have a lot. I haven't got a wedge here. I have got a wedge, but it's yeah, out of the way. Right, so you have a lot of grind when it comes to on the back of a club, and a lot of the time they're grinded out down near the heel. Yeah, so certain grinds. You've got a normal grind, and you've got like relief area grinds and absolute bugger all grinds where there's no bounce to it whatsoever. So one is a protective grind, so like a bounce grind. One is a universal grind, which is a slightly lower bounce one, but is relieved in certain areas, which gives you a little bit of versatility as you open and close the face, so it doesn't affect lie and the raising of the leading edge too much. And then you have the other one where you have like a complete shaving away of the heel. That allows you to lower the club, open the face and lower the handle and keep that front face hunkered to the ground. That allows you obviously to be a lot more versatile with it. Again, bounce and also grinds depending on the individual and how they play shots and how they feel comfortable playing shots. Right, I'm getting so much I'm gonna have to scroll back up again. Open mind, good for you. Cheers for that. How do you tell when your wedges need to be replaced? Inspection or testing or an RPM? Right, and even an old wedge will still spin very well. Problem is, if I haven't got my old wedge here, so if I knew, problem is without knowing what kind of answers I'm going to get in a Q&A, I can't have all my equipment here. I've got an old 58, and in an old 58 I have all the lines because obviously you have bunkers or on the course constantly. As soon as you start getting vertical scratch lines on the face of a wedge, you start losing its grip. Now most people think it's the grooves which grip onto the golf ball. It's not the grooves at all. It's the roughness of the face. And then obviously, I mean, I've got my Vice Pro ball here, my premium ball that I use. It's the roughness of the face which grabs and spins the golf ball, not the grooves. The grooves are there for one reason, and one reason generally only, is for dispersal of matter. Dispersant of matter, yeah. So basically grass. When you get grass between the golf club and the ball, you need that grooves there to be as nice, clean, deep as best they can do to disperse matter, so you can get a decent contact. Right. But you will see a reduction in the RPM, but it is marginal to a certain extent. What thing you will do is, if with other reduction of RPM, I've done recently I've just done a very intensive test between all the Vice golf balls, the Vice Drive, the Vice Tour, against an AD333, which is a bog standard general mid to high handicap, or say mid handicapper's ball, which was interesting and knackering. Would you say more bounce on soft wet turf and less bounce on dry firm turf, Bill? Yes, depending on attack angle. So last bit of the drink. Right, attack angle is unique when it comes to the individual. You need to test what someone's attack angle is when they're chipping and also when their full shots are. Generally speaking, when it comes to a full shot, they'll be a lot more steeper than they would do a chip shot. However, there are traits within when it comes to an individual's attack angle, which will go through the whole set, whether it be chipping and everything else like that. So if you're playing someone who's quite a digger, so they're in a hurry to get down to the golf ball, steep, whatever you want to call it, and you're playing especially on, well, I'll say sodden, wet ground, but soft conditions, bounce will be your friend. Again, when it comes to doing that same thing, when it comes to a very, very baked hard course, bounce will not be your friend because of the fact that you'll be getting that bounce into the golf ball, dunk, and you're getting that thin bullet one, to name a great phrase. So again, sometimes you can get a mid bounce person which can have one club which can do everything. Other people with very distinct deliveries might need 2 wedges. Open that one out there. Bounce can be manipulated. There is no straight answer, in my opinion. Get someone who knows what they're doing to assess your normal strike patterns, angle of attack, shaft lean, etc. I'm hoping I've just answered that one and agreed with you at the same time. Is that right? Just sleeping 61. I'm quite happy. Well, what you've said there is 100% correct. Bang on. I cannot put that one any better in any smaller amount of words. So I do tend to go on. Only because I'm passionate about it. Cool. Well done. Right. Any other ones before I decide that I'm trottle off? I hope you've enjoyed these. Need another drink. I hope you like this test. I hope this is not going to cause too much uproar, because it's not designed necessarily to do that. What it is designed to do is open people's eyes as to understanding necessarily what these can and cannot do, what the marketing says these can and cannot do, and necessarily are they going to work for you or work not for you, if you understand what I'm going. Just in this test alone, when I'm talking about a senior golfer having 40% higher peak height, 40% higher peak height from a golf club which is never, people see, should ever be fit for them, is a very valid test, and I'm glad I did it. Dan, have you had chance to hit this 585s? Good, I do need a drink. Try and decide between those and the 919 Forge. Want something that is somewhat forgiving, but I can grow into. Only has been playing for a new. Right. Okay, right. Dan, question: where's your miss? I need to know where your miss. Before I answer this question, I need to know where your miss is. Not where your missus is, because hopefully she's at home. But where are your misses? You know what I mean? Because I can't answer that question. Toe. Right. No, JPX 919. The JPX 919 hot metal and forged with a power frame. I have not yet. I was kind of hoping you were going to say toe, because if you're going to say heel, I've gone Trixon. Not saying that they're not, but again, being honest, if you're hitting off the toe 919 all day long, their power frame that they've got, I've done tests when it comes to just chatting to people, and they're just talking about the club and saying what is this, and I've hit it basically off the scoring lines. That far off on the 919 hot metal, and it's still carried the same distance. Yes, it's gone not quite as high, and it's gone slightly less in spin, but for that alone is crazy good. It's just mental. Okay. I'm reluctant to change my 2-ball putter, but the face is getting chipped after 10 years of use. Any thoughts? Right, Robert, I would actually. You are awesome. Thanks so much. That's what I'm here for. Some pros will probably get really irritated at the fact that, oh, you're giving away this free advice. Why not? Information is only. Why should we be so scared about giving information out there? At the end of the day, I'm just giving generalized information out there to everybody. This generalized information is not going to pertain to every single individual. That's why you have lessons. That's why you have individual lessons, because there are certain things that work for some people that won't work for others. I'm not degrading or diminishing the whole concept of lessons or anything else like by doing what I'm doing now. It's just giving you guys information which you hopefully can then digest, which gives you an informed, educated view when you do go for a fitting or you do go for some form of coaching. That's my side of things. Right, Quintec versus Sam Putt Lab, which is better? They both offer extremely good setups. Personally, I like Quintec personally, but Sam has got a lot of information which are there, because obviously I think Sam's been going for a lot longer, and it's got a lot more reports that they do through consistency levels, etc., which is quite interesting. I personally like Quintec, but it's a personal preference, guys. If you've got any chance of going to a Quintec or Sam Putt Lab. Not forgetting, and it's true, again, I am not paid by Foresight to say this, but it's true. Now, I don't know if you can see, because that's GC2 HMT down there, because, yeah, old picture. But the quad, if you have the upgrade pack to the quad does putting launch monitor, and it is very, very good. Is it as good as a Quintec or Sam? I'm not 100% certain yet, because it's not a standalone piece of software which you can run reports off, etc., where Sam, etc., has, but it's an option. You are awesome, thanks so much. Regarding 919 Forge, Strixon 585 with toe miss, how does the Ping i500 compare? Have fitted for all three this weekend. Have you really? Robert, where are you? Go on quick. Bang, 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 quick. Whereabouts are you in the world? Quick, quick, quick. The i500 is a completely different beast. The 919 Forged 585. See, the 585 is obviously Austria, I'm guessing. Australia. I hope not, because that's going to be like, what time in the morning? It's now 10:30 getting up to, so it's going to be 10:30 in the morning, or whenever it'll be. Okay, Robert, did you answer my putter question? Hang on a second, it's going to be at the top here. Bear in mind, sorry mate. I'll get to that one. Sorry, Australia. Okay, Robert. No, cheers, Julian. I can always rely on you. Right, okay. The 919 Forged and the 585 is a bit of a mismatch. If you were going to go for the 919 Hot Metal and the 585, I would say yes. If you're going to go for the 785 919 Forged, they're two comparable clubs. You've got a little bit of a mismatch between that. And then also the i500 is a very, 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 very slimmed down version of the G700. But I would equally put that in between like the iBlade and the i210. For me, the i500 is alright, but the i210, I cannot stress enough how good the i210 is. It performs that well, not just for my swing speed, but for others as well. I cannot understand why Ping just don't have iBlade, although there's really no performance point of having an iBlade. Just have the i210, G400 and G700 to a certain extent, but G400, i210. That Ping could just reduce their complete, because i210 is that good. Give it a go, because it is very, very good. And the i210 is cheaper per head than the i500, because the i500 still runs hollow head technology, which for the benefit you get, or very little benefit you get from that kind of shape of head and size of head for the hollow headness, I would go i210. Right, Robert, the putter question. I'm reluctant to change my 2-ball putter, but the face is getting chipped after 10 years of use. Any thoughts? Yes, I have got thoughts. Do you need to change it? If you need to change it because you're finding that the dents, the scratches, the indentations, the deformities of the face is causing the ball to bump offline by catching a groove, or sorry, a dimple, then I would say definitely yes, change it. And get basically one. If you've been fitted for the other one and you are still the same putter as you were before, basically just get another one of exactly what you've got, but something a bit newer. Excuse me. That's the important bit. Putting is a fitting. Yes, there is very, very important things about being fit for a putter. Yes. However, your own feel and how you respond to a certain putter is equally as important. 10 years of use. Now, bear in mind, I've got a Scotty, which is 2004, so 14 years old, 15 years old or so. So it's getting there, and it's still absolutely fine. But yeah, right. Let's go zoom down, because I don't see any impact in performance. I love my putter. Well, if I was here selling equipment, Robert, I would be saying buy another putter. Ignore your thoughts. Buy another putter. Ignore your thoughts. I'm going to be saying, Robert, if your putting is Good. No impact on performance. You love it. You've answered your own question. Keep it. Saved you some money. 200 odd quid. Yeah, I have a Regal that's still before me. Simon, you and I need to have a chat. Currently have a G Power spec and I have no feel or ability to shape shots. Look like and reviews of 919 will let you know the fitting outcome. Lovely sessions, Charles. Don't mind, Robert. I hear you loud and clear. Good. That's the whole idea of these sessions, guys. Now, right, it's been 45 minutes in. I'm glad that you guys are keeping up. Now, if you want me to stop, just pop in there and say stop, because 46 minutes is long enough, potentially. So if you want me to stop, just say. If you've got a couple more questions, I will answer them. But this will not potentially be whacked up on YouTube for all to see. The original one will be. So what I did in the original chatting about how these performed, etc., that will be out there. This one is just for you guys. And as soon as I've done this, this will be deleted from existence. But hopefully I'm getting enough information out there. So yeah. Right. You let me know if you want. Backache. Need a new chair. I've said this before. Robert, Jay, you are a star. It's alright. I aim to please. Cool, I do need a bra. When I was doing testing yesterday, I've done all the Strixon 8333 against the Vice Drive, Vice Tour. I've done a very interesting, which I'll probably do next week, next Wednesday, is the I done stock shaft against an upcharge shaft to see if there's any difference at all. Basically, I hit a lot of shots yesterday and my back's aching. So sitting on a chair for a prolonged period of time is not doing me any good whatsoever. Right, okay. If you've got any questions whatsoever, whack them down there. Guess I need to go back and watch your i210 review. Dan is a very good, very, very good thing. Pop on my channel, have a look. It is on there. People think that I'm a Mizuno fanboy. I do like Mizuno. I wear Mizuno, right? Why do I? Right, I've got the choice of wearing basically whatever I want. So it's basically what I feel comfortable in. I like the fit. And I choose Mizuno. I could choose Under Armour. I could choose anything, but I don't. I choose this, and yeah, is it gonna fit you? Is it gonna tickle your fancy? I don't know, but from the point of view of I like it. So, am I a Mizuno fanboy? To a certain extent, yes. Am I objective still? Yes. If I don't like something, I will say it. I've got no problem with irritating people whatsoever, as long as it's justified and I can, yeah, there's substance to it. Right, would you recommend a different putter loft for winter greens versus faster, slower greens, i.e. more loft for slower greens? Yes. Get fit. That's the most important thing. Just Sleep in 61. Very, very important point. As the grass gets longer, gets thicker, gets lusher, they don't grow. It kind of grows slowly, but they don't cut it back nowhere near as much in the winter time because obviously it kill it. There is a depression. It sits in its own depression, and you need that loft coming along to pop it out of its depression so it can start rolling forward. It doesn't happen if you keep on having the same loft because it just basically hits it into that little lip and it ends up like bouncing and carrying. You do not want a ball to carry. You want it hitting and then rolling forward, not rolling backwards through too much loft or anything else, or hitting downward on it. You want the ball going forward, get hit by a surface with a little bit of loft to launch it out of its depression and go forward. That is the whole idea of fitting. I'll leave it there. Do you have any coaching videos on hip turn and backswing? Robert, if you noticed on my channel, I do not do swing videos. Why do not I do swing videos? The reason is because I could probably pop out there with a video saying stop your slice. The problem is there's a cornucopia of ways where you can stop a slice, and there's also a cornucopia of ways where you can gain one. I cannot, in a half an hour video or however long you want it, get across every conceivable permutation of way of where you could stop slicing your driver or any club. That's the whole idea of fit, or sorry, fit to a certain extent. Yeah, that's the whole idea of coaching. You get your coaching. The coach there, if they're any good, can identify straight away with the use, obviously through camera work and also by launch monitor, strike launch monitor. They can understand where the problem is and go straight to it, rather than the video which I can make, which you guys will listen to, watch in great. Because if it's clickbait, then great. I'm not in this for the money. Of course, obviously it's handy. I'll be honest. Everyone says that. Oh, I'm not in for the money. Yeah. But the information that I put out there needs to be right for everyone, not just one person out of 30. So 30 people out of 9,000, or 9,000 out of 270,000 watchers. It's not the point. Do you give online lessons? Right, well, I have thought about doing such a thing, and I have delved into doing it. The hardest thing necessarily is coming up with a structured way of doing it. I mean, I'm quite happy to do it, and I have delved into it in the past. It's sometimes a little bit difficult to structure, though. That's what I've found. Cool, I'll get a duplicate with more loft. Great idea. Do you have a coaching video? I was like, yeah. So if anyone else has got any other questions, anyone want to email me, it is on the About tab on my channel. If not, it's Ask Golf Nut. That's the channel. AskGolfNut@gmail.com. So if you've got anything you need on there, generally speaking, I'm very, very good at replying, because I've always got the whole yeah, I live by this thing. What did we do? Right, yeah, different, yeah. So, right. Anyone else before I go? Because it's been 53 minutes nearly of you listening to questions and answers, and I've got to give you guys credit because you've come up with some really good ones. But yeah, email me if you've got any specific ones. I do, when it comes to online lessons or anything else like that, there has to be a certain understanding of, because obviously my time is finite. When it comes to certain things like video lessons, they can give a certain amount nearest airport to you. Norwich, Luton, Stansted, something like that. Depends, obviously, if you're coming from Ireland, Southern Ireland. I went to Dublin and flew via Stansted. There you go. So online lessons, potentially, yes, quite happy to do them, but there has to be a discussion between you and I to do that. There has to be discussion also when it comes to camera work, what kind of content you give me to help you. When it comes to anything from my point of view, trying to help you, obviously, if you come to see me, I've got the cameras, I've got the quad, I've got everything there that I can assist you with whatever you need. When it comes to an online situation, we need to have a chat first about camera setup and obviously my time, and yeah. But that's, yeah, if you want to do that, askgolfnut@gmail.com, and I will get round to you as soon as I possibly can, because believe me, my phone is constantly, well, it's on charge now. Look, it's always on charge because I constantly use it. Right, if that is the end, I will then leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very, very much for putting everything in there, allowing to include yourselves. Thanks for great Q&A. Julian, it is always a pleasure. It is always a pleasure to try and dispel some of the myths of golf. The only other YouTuber really that I have found so far that will delve into doing this really without worrying about too much is Crossy. I like Crossy. I've always liked Mark. Sometimes I think he's just trying to be argumentative for being argumentative's sake rather than anything else, but without people like him to like me to a certain extent, if you never question something, then people will keep on going down the same route, bashing their head against a brick wall, doing stuff like this, selling stuff to people like this when it's clearly not working for them, or it shouldn't ever be sold to them. Justin, thanks Jay, really good info. Thanks for your time. Thank you, excellent. Thank you, excellent. Learned loads in 1 hour. Cool. That's the whole idea. Anything that I can do. This is going to be I've been doing it Wednesday night now for quite a while. Obviously, since my life situation, people, my subscribers know my life situation has changed over the last X amount of months. So potentially I have certain time constraints, differences that I have or have not had in the past, without going into too much detail. So we'll keep on doing this kind of live stream. Yes, there's a lot of work that goes into the live stream with all the transitions and all bits and pieces we're going out, but it is well worth it, because hopefully this kind of information gets you guys understanding what works and what doesn't. So next week will be should we do the shaft one next week? I've got a few different things to do. We'll do the shaft one next week. So it's going to be a pre-record bit and then also some chat and stuff. Now, Robin, who's the other person who helped the test, he's in the kind of video very briefly, but he won't be here to discuss because obviously it'll be a Wednesday evening. But anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Click link, subscribe, like, comment, all that bits and pieces. Bell icon, ding-a-ling, make sure you click that bell icon, because then by clicking that, it allows you guys to be notified when I kind of make these things in 1 hour's worth of giving my information out, educating the masses. That's what we like to see. And one day I might actually have a sidekick. I might have someone next to me that we can feed off for a little bit of fun. I'm not quite sure who it would be, but yeah. You guys have got to be bored of just listening to me. It would be quite nice to sort of kind of, within reason, pair up with someone else. But anyway, not to worry. So yeah, I'm going to sign off now. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, share about, do all the bits and pieces. And we'll again see you again next Wednesday. Same time, about 9:15. As long as my internet does not die again, I'm going to have a chat with you in the morning. Stop rebooting my router. Right, guys, thanks very much, and we'll see you again soon.